Good morning, peeps. This is what I want you to do. I want you to get you a cup of coffee, make it nice and creamy and sugary. Make sure it's hot. Make sure it's just as you like it. Or a cup of tea or whatever you're drinking this morning, right? Because we getting ready to go for a walk down memory lane. Y'all remember this guy? I'll give you a minute. You got it? Okay, I'm going to tell you. This is former Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson is a black Trumper, a vile, hateful black Trumper. Let me refresh your memory. You know I got video.
The people that were talking about reparations in this country, they wanted reparations.
Hold up, just to be clear, the people who were talking about reparations are black people. So in this speech that he's given, it's to black people.
The people that were talking about reparations in this country, they wanted reparations. And I remember I made this particular liberal so angry at me because I told them right to their face, nobody owes you anything for slavery. If you want to tell the truth about it, it is you who owes. It's you who owes. Why do you owe? Because somebody in those fields took stripes for you. Somebody, after those fields were ended and slavery was ended, somebody had to walk through Jim Crow for you. Somebody fought wars and died for you. Somebody lived less than because they didn't have what you have, and they did it for you. There are people in their graves right now, and they are there because they were willing to stand up and fight for you. Those folks on the Edmund Pettus Bridge carrying American flags, take that, Colin Kaepernick, living in a society that he could scarcely acknowledge, something that he has never known, living with a bigotry that none of us can imagine. Carried American flags on that bridge, and when they were hit upside the head with nightsticks and shot with water hoses and knocked to the ground, they got up and picked those flags up and kept marching. And they did it for you. Nobody owes you anything. If anybody owes, it's you. Because you've been the benefactor of freedom. You are the one that owes. And what do you owe? You owe it to them to get up off your tail and get to school. And when you get to school, you owe it to them to get up off your tail at school and get to work and get some learning in your head. And once you get that schooling in your head and get out of that school, you owe it to them to get to work. And then when you get to work and you get married, you owe it to them to take care of your children and not let the government take care of your children. It's you who owe. Nobody owes you a single solitary thing. The sacrifice and blood that has been laid out in this nation on your behalf, there is a bill at your feet for it. It's time you got up off your tail and went and go pay it.
He gave that speech 4 years ago, and that speech made him the star ninja of the Republican Party. Yes, him going before a mostly white crowd and preach to them that it's black people who owes reparations because our ancestors were the ones who did all of the fighting. We don't deserve nothing. The descendants of our ancestors, yeah, we owe. We shouldn't get. Oh, the racists loved it. They loved it. When I shared that video on my pages, all of the racists got down in the comment section and praised him and said he was going to be the next governor. They got down in my comment section and told me that I have done nothing to deserve reparations. Yes, he lit a fire under hateful racists to go out and attack black people, especially black content creators who spoke on political issues. He gave them the fire to go out and harass and abuse all of us. It didn't stop there. He went on to say this.
Governor Mark Robinson at a church in Seagrove, delivering a speech that has offended members of the LGBTQ community and general public. Here's a clip.
I'm saying this now, and I've been saying it, and I don't care who likes it. Those issues have no place in a school. There's no reason anybody anywhere in America should be telling any child about transgenderism, homosexuality, any of that filth. And yes, I called it filth. And if you don't like it that I called it filth, come see me and I'll explain it to you.
He called the members of the LGBTQIA plus community filth. That took him over the top. That got him on Donald Trump's radar. He was speaking at Donald Trump's campaign rallies. He was speaking alongside other prominent Republicans of the party. Yeah, he was on his way to being governor of North Carolina. But then that doggone meddling CNN came out with this bombshell investigative report. You see, in this explosive expose investigative report, CNN exposed the fact that Mark Robinson had some kinks. And you know what? If you got some kinks that helps you to float your boat, do what you do. But according to this report from CNN, Mark Robinson's kink is driven by black degradation. Yeah, that's a good term. Baby, I remember the generalization of the report. I needed to have some bullet points. So I went on over and had a conversation with Alfred. For those of you who do not know, Alfred has replaced Mildred. So I asked Alfred to dig up this investigative report, provide me with a link to the report. Alfred did that. And then I said, can you pull 5 bullet points of the problematic issues with Mark Robinson as a result of this report? And Alfred came back. I got it up over here on the big screen. Alfred said, sure, Tabitha, no problem. Here's number 1. He made inflammatory online comments. Mark Robinson, under the username Mini Soldier, posted a series of controversial and offensive comments on a pornography website message board between 2008 and 2012, years before he entered politics. Alfred went on to say that Mark Robinson self-identified as a black Nazi in some of these comments. Robinson referred to himself as a black Nazi in online posts, which drew significant attention and controversy. Alfred said, Tabitha, you won't believe what he said about slavery. Well, Alfred didn't really say that, but this is what Alfred said about slavery. He expressed support for slavery. He wrote statements supporting the return of slavery, including the comment, quote, slavery is not bad. Some people need to be slaves. I wish they would bring it back, end quote. Alfred went on to point out that in this report, Mark Robinson used derogatory and offensive language. Robinson's posts included racial, anti-Semitic, and homophobic slurs, as well as disparaging remarks about civil rights leader Martin Luther King, calling him a, quote, commie bastard and worse than a maggot, end quote. And the last bullet point that Alfred brought back in regards to this article, this expose, this investigative report, Mark Robinson is a contradiction. contradicted public stances despite his public opposition to abortion and transgender rights. Robinson privately admitted to enjoying transgender pornography and made other sexually explicit comments, revealing a contradiction between his public and private statements. Now, publicly, Alfred didn't say this, but I remember this. Publicly, he was against abortion, but it came out that Mark Robinson and his wife had an abortion. It's like I've said in the past, Republicans are against abortions until their daughters or their mistresses need one, until anyone that is close to them needs one for health or medical reasons. Yeah, in the case of the Florida Congresswoman who had an ectopic pregnancy, this is in the news right now. She had an ectopic pregnancy. It put her life in danger. She needed an abortion. She reached out to Governor DeSantis. I don't know if he responded to her, but in the end, she got the abortion that she needed because her life was in danger. And in typical brainwashed, vile Republican behavior, after she got the abortion she needed to save her life, she turns around and blames Democrats. Anywho, back to Mark Robinson. Once this expose, this investigative report came out from CNN, Mark Robinson was treated by the darlings of the Republican Party. They treated him as if he was carrying the plague. The phone calls to his office stopped. They stopped speaking his name in public. His support dwindled. But apparently, Mark Robinson thought that he was truly loved by Republican voters. And so he didn't drop out of the race for governorship of North Carolina. No, he pressed forward and believed that he would win. And he was so mad with CNN that he decided to file a $50 million lawsuit against CNN. And the rest of us who were following the story, we was like, yes. But we knew he wouldn't follow through with the lawsuit because that discovery period was going to be content gold for all of us. We knew that he was not going to follow through with that lawsuit, but he continued the game. He kept up the facade. He continued to campaign. He continued to act like this staunch Republican. He even had a campaign rally where he had a poster of Donald Trump because Donald Trump was not going to show up. So he had a poster of Donald Trump standing by him. Anywho, the election came, the people went out to vote, and Mark Robinson lost the governor's race. And then Mark Robinson reduced his $50 million lawsuit to $25,000. And then Mark Robinson dropped the lawsuit altogether. I know y'all are like, Tabitha, why are you taking us down memory lane regarding Mark Robinson? Well, Mark Robinson is not happy about how the Republicans dropped him like a hot potato. Now, we all knew that was going to happen, but Mark Robinson didn't know. And so Mark Robinson was on a video podcast the other day, and this is what he had to say.
Too many of these folks will compromise. They'll remain neutral. They will they'll avoid you when you get in trouble. Yeah, that's right. I got some senators who burn the road up, burn my phone up, want me to come to their fundraisers. Now, when it was They want me to come to their fundraiser and help them raise a whole bunch of funds. And if they're listening to this, they know who they are.
Right.
And some of them are in deep red counties now. Deep red counties. Wouldn't have lost a thing by sticking with me and supporting me and standing up for me and fighting back, helping me fight back against CNN. Wouldn't even look me in my face in that Senate building. Walk right by me without even saying hello. That's how deep the cowardice runs in that place. That's how deep it runs.
So when it was fair weather.
Oh, it's fair weather. Oh, can you come do my fundraiser? Can you come hang out with me? Can I go to Israel with you? Can I do this? Can I do that? But then as soon as trouble comes, oh, no, I don't know you now. I don't know you. And to me, that's despicable. It's despicable. And we will never hold on to this country. And we will never win this battle to keep this country that God has given us with cowardly men. And I'm talking men specifically.
Yes, sir.
Cowardly men like that in place.
Right.
We have to stand up and fight for each other.
Right.
And we have to recognize when these attacks come.
You see, Mark Robinson, it's like this. When you are high and you are speaking their language and they could use you against the black community, they will rock with you. But as soon as troubled waters come your way, they don't want anything to do with you because you're a black man. You see, all of them up there still support Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is a 34-count convicted felon. He is a sexual assaulter. He is a criminal. He is a con artist. He is a liar. And they still stand by him. Why? Because he's a white man. They stick up for and support each other as long as you're white. You're not white. Therefore, the minute troubled waters came your way, you were expendable. You weren't worth fighting for. You're just another black man to them. They are fighting for their dominance. They are fighting for them to have power. Their fight doesn't include you, Mark Robinson. Yeah, you denigrated the black community. You talked down to the black community. You were vile and disrespectful towards the black community. You, a black man, did that to the black community. May you continue to fall.